This is the first of 5 machines that were shipped in from Toronto. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know what they did getting it here, but you'll see when I unbox the first one, it's not pretty. The face is smashed up on it, and God only knows what other hidden damage is awaiting me, but this one got beat up. Like the last machine I sold to somebody like a week ago, it got beat up going that way, so what do you know?
Well, I got a VCR. I got 5 actually shipped in. I don't know. I hope it wasn't like that when it was packed up. It looks like this thing's been dropped. Let's just see what shape it's in. I haven't even read the note on it. I started to unpack it from the box, and this is how it's coming out of the box. It says on here it's a JVC HR3500 tape trapped in machine. No fast forward play or rewind. So he's got tape number 6P028 enclosed. So I guess he needs his tape back. I was covering up his name on here and his phone number. That's why I've got my hand over here. I'm going to remove this here so we can get an inspection and see what damage has been done. So this looks like it certainly has had impact damage. This is all banged up. I wonder what the rest of the machine looks like. I'm going to pop it apart before I even try powering it up. We'll see what the damage is inside. It's going to get warm in here now because I've shut off the AC as the power has gone up in price. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the price goes up by 5 cents a kilowatt at 4 o'clock. So I try to cool the place down as much as I can when I'm working in here earlier, and I guess I'll have to open the door at some point if it continues to get too warm. Okay, there's the inside of the machine. Hopefully the damage is just cosmetic, but you never know when something's been beat up in transport. You never know how far the damage is. Try powering this thing up and see what happens. I see nothing happening, like it's completely dead. That button's pushed in. This button doesn't work. I think we're going to see some carnage behind this control panel. So let's remove it and see what damage has been done. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there is some damage, and I'm not just guessing. I can see that there is some damage. Well, the button's broken. Is there anything else that's broken? I wonder if I can power it up. Oh, look. A label has come off. It says YTV Bugs Bunny 2020 204 2312. You think that might be why the tape got stuck in it? That might have been what got the tape stuck in it now, but I can assure you that the damage is more than that now, because this thing is, oh, it just powered up. Maybe the button was stuck. The play button jammed in might have caused that. Well, let's just see whether this thing turns on. Will it eject the tape? Or will it not eject the tape? Well, that's a good sign. It just unloaded. Which buttons do what on here? I guess this is is that the eject button? Guides appear to be jammed.
What other carnage am I going to find on this one? Is this the goofy one that had the tilting drum? One of these JVCs had a tilting drum. Those guides don't feel like they're going back all the way. Well, now they are. Okay, well now the tape came out. And let's see if I can see if there's anything that looks to be wrong. I should pull the mechanism and just go through. I think I will. I'm going to pull the mechanism out and I'm just going to walk it through its paces by hand and see whether anything sticks. Because something was certainly sticking when I tried to eject the tape until I helped those guides back by hand, so there might be something jamming them on the bottom. So I'll pull the screws out that hold the transport in place, and we'll give this thing a good once over and lubrication and whatever else might need. Probably the mode switch needs to be cleaned on here, and hopefully there's no other damage other than the buttons are broken, because I don't like it when things get damaged beyond repair. I don't get paid if they're damaged beyond repair, so I certainly want this one to be repairable, and since it's a client that sends me a lot of stuff, I want to make sure that that I get it fixed, because I want more stuff to fix. And the fellow that sent me this, I've done a lot of beta machines for him. I've got some more beta machines here, I know now. Just seeing what screws got to come out on this. I think there might be some on the bottom that need to come out that hold the chassis in place, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, on the bottom. It may not be on this one. But JVC was nasty at putting screws in the bottom that you had to actually take out before you could lift the chassis out. I don't know if this is one of them or not. Some of them you could lift out directly, and others they were tied down to the circuit board. And I get a sneaking suspicion this is one. I'm going to have to lift the entire board out because there's screws in the bottom. And if you don't, and you try to pull the chassis, you'll end up with a broken circuit board. It was that booby trap that they put on them to say, "Gotcha, you non-qualified servicer. We'll get you. Figure you're gonna save some money by going to a non-qualified shop. We'll get you." Okay, unplug these plugs, and I think the whole system should lift out. Oops. Well, that was brittle plastic. What else has got to come out of here? I know I'm probably missing a screw or two. There's probably a couple more on the front here that need to come out. Yeah, there are. There's two more. There's one down here, and there's one on the other side. In fact, that might be all that needs to come out on this. I don't know whether this one had the board attached or not. It might have. I think it still did. There's still one more that holds this up. I gotta unplug this drum here. What's all that that's falling out of here? Look, I got stuff falling out of this thing already. Wonderful. Yeah, they got clips on the board, the stupid bastards. You see? They got a trap right there. If you try to pull this unit out without
removing it and removing that trap, you end up with a snap board. Because the bastards at JVC were just that. Bastards. You got to remove this connector too. The easiest way to do it is to put a screwdriver underneath it, pinch it between your finger, and lift it. That way you don't break it. Okay, now I got to release this catch on the bottom here with my pliers, whatever I did with them. Now I can lift this out. I think I got them all. Oh, there's another one up front here. Man, JVC, you guys are a bunch of bastards, you know? You expect shit like this from the Chinese. Or Funai. There. Alright. Circuit board out of the way. Now we can check the mechanism here and clean the mode switch, which is no doubtably going to need it. The belt is fine. I just want to watch the guides to make sure nothing's sticking on here as it goes through the motions. So if I load the which way am I going here? Got to load the tape compartment down. It's this way. Okay, now that the tape compartment is down, I want to observe what happens when it turns. The belt seems like it's got pretty good tension. Oh, what was that? Okay, so the mechanism is loading. I'm going to grease these rails because they are dry, very dry. But that part's working. If we look on the bottom, everything here seems to be performing as expected. Pinch roller is engaged, and the take-up spool is turning like it's supposed to. Now it doesn't go when I turn it backwards. It does not go into the reverse position, but I think this probably has to turn to a different position for that. Now it does, you see. This piece of plastic has fallen off something. That's broken. Where did that come from? That's a piece of plastic that's come off of something that's broken. So this one may not be repairable, depending on where that piece of plastic came from. I have no idea. Could be from the main cam down here, which could certainly explain why it wouldn't eject. Could have been the mode switch was all jammed up or dirty, and it jammed and broke something, or that could have been broken when it was shipped. It doesn't look like anything familiar. I don't see where it would have come from, but it does look like a part of this. It's the same color. I wonder if it broke off of here somewhere, which is a possibility. This, I believe, is what lifts the lid for the front door. That goes back smoothly now. And then this should lift up the mechanism, which it does. To the full eject mode. Okay, so that's fully ejected. I wonder where this come from. And it does. I mean, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it's snapped from here, but it's obviously for something. And what, I don't know. Does not look familiar. Now, I don't know where that piece of plastic goes. Haven't got a clue. We're going to clean the mode switch. I put it into the home position with a larger tooth. See, that plastic looks like something rides on it, but I just don't know where it would go. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like it's broken off of anything. I was first thinking it's broken off the main cam, but I don't see where it would have broken from. I don't see anything that's, where it could have broken from. I thought maybe there initially, but I mean, that doesn't really do anything. And this rides along on this to begin with. This brake rides on here. This brake rides here. So I just don't know where the heck this thing would go. Obviously it came from someplace, but I can't see any place that it may have broken off of, unless it was under here. But even at that, it just doesn't look like it's snapped off, unless it went down like this. But then what exactly is it pushing? There's nothing for it to push up against. Like what is it doing? I don't see any clips or anything or any levers that it could possibly push. So it can't come off of this. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's an extension from the main slide, but I don't see any place that's broken that looks anything like this. Oh well, I guess it's an extra part. That's what we call parts that we don't know where they go. We call them extra parts. If it'll work without it, then great. Maybe it won't have all the features. Maybe it won't search properly in reverse or something. But you know what? These days, people don't care about that. Some of you out there watching might, but realistically, anybody that's using a machine like this is using it for one thing and one thing only, and that's archiving tapes. And the only thing they care about is, will it play a tape? They don't care about search forward, search backwards, freeze frame, slow motion, any of that other crap that all these machines had. Today, the only thing people care about is, will it play? Because they're being used for archiving. And that is strictly what they're being used for. So, see if I can pop this mode switch apart so that we can clean the contacts, which are no doubt filthy, which they are. Let me clean these out and we'll put this back together, and I'll start to reassemble this thing and see if it will resemble playback with that missing part. It's about the best I can do, because even if I knew what this part came from, if it was broken off of another one of these parts, even if it was broken off this main cam, which it doesn't look like it, but if it was, you're not reattaching this, and you're not finding a new main cam anyway. This wouldn't have been available 40 years ago, never mind today. I mean, these machines here were basically throwaway machines when they were built. This is of the era of the throwaway machine. And they were generally pretty reliable until plastic parts break. But then again, they were never designed to last 40 odd years. They were designed to last 3 or 4. That was the life expectancy of a VHS machine, maybe 5 years, when VHS machines were still in production. And then one day they just decided, we're not going to make any more VHS machines, and stop production and don't care about all the ones that they sold, which is typically what happens with electronics or anything these days. They have a life cycle, and when they go out of that life cycle, that's the end of it. There's no more support, there's no more parts. They work until they don't work, and then you throw them away. Want to see how well this cleans? Yeah, a fair bit of dirt on the switch contacts. We'll do the same over here. I'm showing you guys what it's called, so don't ask, because I won't answer. Because every time I get someone asking me, what is that cleaner in the red bottle? What is that red cleaner in the bottle? I'm not answering those questions. It's right there on the screen, so just don't waste your time asking questions, because every video somebody asks, and it's right there. I guess I better clean the back of these as well, as they're also pretty dirty. For Christ's sake. That'll be the guy with the SL2000 that I didn't want to sell him, wanting me to set up a video chat to try to help him fix it, annoying the hell out of me when I'm trying to work. Alright, got the switch back together. Just make sure that it goes through all the motions. I should point out that there's actually two double-spaced notches on here. There's 2 points on this cam, so you have to make sure you get the right one, otherwise it's not going to work. think I've got it right. Pretty sure it's in the right position now. Okay. I guess the next thing to do is I'll throw some grease onto the rails here because they're pretty dry, and we'll put the chassis back in and see whether anything works. It should work. Barring any other damage, I say I don't know where that piece went. I can't see any place it's broken unless it's come off of the front loading mechanism. See, I'm getting text messages because I didn't answer emails fast enough, and I don't check my email. Some people live with their phone glued to their hand, and they check their email every 5 seconds, and I'm not one of them. If I check my email once or twice in a day, that's about it. Some people like to not, like to be reachable 24/7, and I'm not one of them. I hate cell phones. I hate technology. Get this back in. Get the little plugs to line up. Pins that have to go down. Okay, those are locked in. Alright, those are locked in place. So that way the mode switch should be connected down here. Wherever the heck it is. Yeah, it should be connected into its receptacle, which it is. All the little switches are in the right positions. So now I can proceed to plug things back in to see if this thing will fire up and do anything other than nothing. In other words, will it play a tape? That's all I care. Will it play a tape? If it plays a tape, success. I don't even care if it doesn't rewind or fast forward, because that can be done on another machine. All I really care about is, will it play? And if it plays, then chances are the owner of it will be happy. Just got to get these plugs in without damaging them. They're kind of a pain. I hate these type of plugs. Okay, I think that's in. And then that one goes in like that. And then this one here goes in down here. And if everything is right, then I should be able to power the unit up. Well, once I put it back into the chassis, so I can make some other connections. But I should be able to power the unit up, and it should, fingers crossed, it should work. Of course, the reason you have to put it back into the cabinet is there's another switch here.
actually the record lockout switch here, but that lever contacts the switch down here. So if it's not into the chassis, then some things won't work properly. But it should just drop right in. It should be good enough to plug in and see if it'll play something. I don't think I need to put the front on. I'll try playing one of my test tape. All right, I got power. Let's just see if the tape will load. I don't have the top bracket on here. I don't think there's a bracket that goes across the top. It should still work though. Play. Oh, where's play? There we go. There's play.
In North America, 45% of the population suffers from some form of allergy.
Okay, so that works. Let's try my other tape. Eject. See if it'll eject the tape. That part's working. Yep. Tape came out just fine. That extra piece was just an extra piece, I guess. Okay, let's just see. This should have my scenery. This is my scenery tape. It's working. Excellent. I like it. I'll be thrilled. Considering the fact that it got beat up coming over here, at least nothing major was broken. I don't know where that plastic piece came from. I did find where the lid lifter went. The lid lifter's right here. And I think there's another metal bracket that goes across the top here too that holds this in. And that goes in, I think it's like this. It's like this. Yeah, that piece goes somewhere like this. Somewhere this piece goes here. Forget exactly which way it goes. One of these ways it goes in. Is it like this? It might be this way. Anyway, let's watch it eject. I gotta put screws in it. So let's get some screws in here to hold this thing together. Unplug your power. Bracket that goes in there. That's where that metal bracket went. The other screw went in on this side, but there's a metal bracket that goes down here first. Let's just put that in the right place. So the metal bracket actually sits on this side. This chassis screw goes down through here to hold the chassis in place. This one is just to keep the supply spool from coming off. That just extra protection to hold the supply spool in place. That piece goes in there, and then this screw goes down over top of that.
As I say, this, I have no idea what that was part of. I still don't know where this came from. So I'm going to say it's extra parts. It doesn't appear to operate or affect the operation of the machine. Now I got this front piece that's got to go on, and it went across the front here. Somehow, I forget which way it went. I may have to look at the tape, but I think it was like that. But we'll just pop this mechanism up. That went in just like that. And then the front cover, I was able to get that play button back in. It was just popped out, just snapped back in. Nothing was broken there, so I was able to get that piece to go back in, which is good. Put the wire through there, and we'll snap this thing on. I got to open up the front loading or front door. Like all the buttons making contact. That's all snapped together. Okay, front panel's back on. We'll just do another test. Make sure everything's working as it's supposed to. Play. That works. So I'll show you guys the screen and we'll go through the different modes together. Okay. Oh, I think I gotta plug this cable in first before that's gonna work. Plug the cable in for the jog shuttle dial. Okay. Fast forward. That's working. Reverse search. Reverse search is working. Let's try pause. I'm turning the jog shuttle dial now, or the jog dial. Frame by frame forward. Turn it backwards. Frame by frame reverse. Here's the frame by frame forward. And frame by frame reverse. And then go back to play. Search forward. Search reverse. And of course we'll try full speed. Full speed rewind. That's working. Full speed fast forward. Stop. Oh, I saw a bit of slack stopping it. Is that going to cause a problem when I eject? Probably not, because it should probably take that up, which it does. So I'm not too worried about it. That might be that plastic piece might be part of the braking system that's fallen out. You know, that might be what that was for, is to apply a brake. This one down here, I don't know. It might have been, actually it might have been for this brake down here, but I don't know where it went. I can't see where it broke off from, but oh, you know what? You know, it might have been off this linkage down here. But it's broken, so I don't know that there's anything that I can do to try to put it back on. But it's functional. I mean, if tape spills a little bit out on rewind, so be it. It's not going to be the end of the world, because it's going to rewind that tape back in. These machines are not going to be used for they're not going to be used for recording and playback, right? The fellow that owns this, he's just using them to archive, because he puts it thousands of tapes that he needs to digitize. So a machine like this is being used for archiving. So if if it spills a bit of tape, was it on rewind or fast forward? Let's see here, rewind. It might have been fast forward. Let's hit stop. So stop fine on rewind. We'll fast forward. So when I went to go into play, there was a little bit of tape spill there. The reel didn't stop as fast as it probably should have, but it's not going to affect anything. You know, it's not going to eat the tape. I would say that the worst case scenario is he would want to just hit rewind for a split second if he's worried about the tape spilling. You see, it just took it a second or so to stop. And if I go into rewind just for a second, it's going to take that tape up and then stop. That's going to prevent any damage. So that, I'm not too worried about that. It's probably due to that plastic piece that's broken, but good luck finding where that went and getting it to stick on. It's a nylon, so you can't really glue it. And about the only thing I could try to do would be to fuse it, heating it up and melting it, but that's also not very strong. Not on a piece like that that didn't have any support. So I think I'm going to just leave it at that. I still don't see where it went. I just think it might be on this reel here to stop it. When you come out of fast forward, it might be there just to apply the brakes a little sooner. That's the only thing I can think of. I can kind of see where it might have gone, but even at that, I can't say for sure. I can't see a place where it's broken, and I can't see a place where it used to be. I'll clean the heads on this one, and I think this one is pretty much done. See, I'm not that concerned that coming off fast forward a little bit of tape spills. The fellow that owns it, I will make sure he's aware of that. If he's going to fast forward his tapes, which I doubt very much he is, because he's just using this to archive stuff. So the tapes will be starting at the beginning. Oh, look at all the dirt that was on that one. Wow. Get some more cleaner on there and see if I can get some more dirt off of it. That's a little better. I'll do the. Let's grab another Q-tip. This one's kind of dirty. I'll do the other heads on it as well. But yeah, this one here, as I say, the guy that owns this, archiving. So fast forwarding a tape, probably not a big deal. Rewind's fine. It doesn't spill tape out on a rewind, which is good. But again, I'm not that worried about it. It's likely that piece of plastic that fell out, but I can't see where it's broken from. I don't know. I don't have an exploded view or anything for this mechanism. It's been so long since I've looked at one, but it probably broke off something, but looking at it, I can't see where it came from. Mechanism's down. Now I wound it down so that I could look to see if I could spot anything on top here where that piece of plastic might have come from, but I don't see anything. I don't see any marks where it was sliding back and forth, because it's obviously a slide. I don't see anything. And the brakes themselves, they're actually controlled from this side, you see? The brakes do work, unless it's something that pushes this lever here, but it is getting pushed. It does have a thing it does have a lever that pushes it. Anyway, I think this one is done, and it's done as well as it's going to be done. So let me clean the rest of the heads. We'll do one final playback test on it, and then I will get this one out of here and move on to one of the other 4 that I've got sitting here. I'm going to do one more thing before I put this thing together. I'm just going to take it over to the outside and put the air compressor on it and just blow out the dust that's accumulated inside the machine, because there's a fair bit of dust in here. Okay, so that's what came off the pinch roller and the audio control head and the tape guides. to say it was fairly dirty. Okay, let's just see how this thing fast forwards now. See whether after it's cleaned whether it's made any difference. I remember the tape was spilling out a bit before when I stopped it, so let's just see. Stop. Oops, yeah, stop. Yeah, tape still spilled a bit, but if I go into reverse for a moment and then stop it, there's no issue. So it's not going to eat the tape. Even if I went full speed and just went straight to eject, it's not going to eat the tape. I'll do that. We'll go to full speed. There it goes. And I'll hit stop. Right. It didn't spill that time. That just may be the brakes are getting a bit weak, which is also possible. See, that time a little bit spilled, but if I go into eject, it's going to wind the tape up. It's going to take it up. There's no spilling of the tape into the transport, so we're good. This one's fine. Never going to be an issue. It's going to blow the dust out of this thing, and then we'll button it back up, and I'll get it packed up, ready to go back, so that they can smash it again on the way back. I wish I was joking when I said that too. Alright, the dust has been blown out of it. There it is. Working like $1,000,000. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.